foul. That was absolutely ridiculous.
The Boston Bruins have won the Stanley Cup.
Up on down. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Red Sox win the World Series.
I don't know. It's tough. Tom's up there, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, the factory for Boston.
The Red Sox may have a massive problem. No, the title to this video is absolutely wrong. The title of this video should be The Red Sox Have a Massive Problem. There's no may or maybe in this title. It shouldn't be there. They do have a massive problem. The ownership is the massive problem. I already know what he's going to talk about. I don't even need to watch this video. We're going to react to it anyways, but I already know what he's going to say. He's going to say that the ownership doesn't care, this, that, yada, yada. He's just going to act like he's finally figuring out that the ownership is the issue. Red Sox fans, are you blind? I've been saying this for the last year and a half. This has been what I've been saying. You guys are just finally starting to catch on to it. You guys are late to the party. I've been on this train. Where I'm not wearing Red Sox merch, going to many Sox games like I used to, not even rooting for them because they treat their fan base so shitty that it's wrong. It's wrong what they're doing. John Henry is going to do the exact same thing to the Red Sox that he did to the Florida Marlins. Won them a few championships, and then he's going to go, that's good enough. I don't really have to care for this team as much anymore. That's what's going to happen. That's not right to the fans. That's not right to the players. That's not right to the coaches. There is a massive problem with the Red Sox, and it's the ownership. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Justin Made here on YouTube and from Beantown Takes back again with another video. And we are reacting to the Red Sox. I'm changing the title because this title is wrong. I'm changing this title to The Red Sox Have a Massive Problem. That's the title of the video we are reacting to today. They don't maybe have a massive problem. They do have a massive problem. And fans are finally starting to see what I've been saying. They don't give a single crap about the fans. They don't care. They got their championships that they feel like met their expectations. So now it's time for them to pocket money. Well, no, that's not how it works. When you're a multi-billion-dollar corporation like Fenway Sports Group, you need to care about your teams. Because you have supporters out there that are buying your merch, supporting you or whatever. You need to think about where you guys got to this point. And that's from the fans. And you're doing them dirty. You're doing them wrong. It's not fair. It's not fair. I've been saying this. Until ownership sells. Or they get their shit together. Which I don't see happening anytime soon. I am on Team Mookie, Team Xander. Simple as that. I am on team players who I loved rooting for when they were on the Red Sox. That's where I stand. We're reacting to Red Seat Radio. Let's see what he has to say. Leave a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed these videos. Subscribe now if you guys know what you guys know what to do. Go check out our website. Links in the description down below. Without further ado, stop straight into this video.
Oh yeah, this could be a bit of an issue.
Could be.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Sea Radio. My name is Corbin, and one of the things that we've heard so far from the Red Sox offseason, at least towards the beginning of the Red Sox offseason, is that the Red Sox wanted to get back to spending money like a big market club. We've seen it sparingly over the last couple of years. Contracts like Yoshida, Trevor Story, and Rafael Devers sort of stand out, but overall, they've been pretty conservative with their dollars.
Are you really calling Yoshida a big spending contract that they went out to get? Are you really calling them that? It wasn't really that big, to be honest with you. I get it, like he was probably one of the bigger Japanese names coming out of the market last year, but like to call him a big signing, no. What would have been a big signing from this front office would have been Shohei Ohtani or Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who just went to the Dodgers. Both of them just went to the Dodgers. The Dodgers have spent $1.1 billion this offseason so far. That's what big markets do. They are in on the best players when they are available. No matter what the costs are, they are in on them because you need talent to win a championship. The Red Sox don't want to do that. It's just as simple as that. They want to be a small market team. That's what they want to be. That doesn't cut it here in Boston. Plain and simple, that's how it is. We care about our sports teams. We want to see our teams do good. We want to see our teams win. But here's what's going to happen. The exact same thing. Like the Florida Marlins. John Henry was in on every single main piece when he was there. They won their 2 championships. He run them to the ground, and then he sold the team. That's what's going to happen.
Over the last couple of seasons. Now going into 2024, we got.
I can't wait till he's
this
out of
could
here.
Be changing, right? Tom Warner at the beginning of the offseason.
I've had it with the
spoke
whole
the
front
infamous
office
words
staff
that
the
are now
last
sort of the
3-4
key
seasons.
trademark of the Red Sox 2024 offseason, whether good or bad at this point, more bad with full throttle. On top of that, Craig Breslow also mentioned that there would be no financial limitations, but okay, you didn't spend on Yamamoto, now who are you going to spend on? Well, a report came out yesterday that could indicate that we could have a bit of a problem here with that sort of narrative. So, what we're going to do in today's video is talk about
glad he's
a
gonna
report
put
that
the
came
tweet
out
up on
that
the
could
screen
be a massive
because I was
problem
gonna
for
do
Red
that.
Sox
So I'm glad
fans
he's doing it.
everywhere. We're going to break down what it is, whether or not to start getting the pitchforks out and whatnot, and what this could
I've had my
indicate about the
pitchfork
future of the Boston Red Sox. But before we
I was
get
willing to be patient, right? I was willing to be patient. But after last offseason, man, that was it for me. That was really it.
into that, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. The information that we are talking about today came from an article that came out over the weekend on Christmas Eve by Mass Live's Sean McAdams. It was an article that he had written about his current thoughts on the Red Sox offseason, and while it was a very good article overall, there was one excerpt in here that absolutely sent chills down my spine, and if you're a Red Sox fan, it should be sending chills down your spine as well. The quote reads, "In the aftermath of the Yamamoto news, one industry official was speculating on how the Red Sox might pivot to find the necessary starting pitching. When Sean McAdams, suggested free agent Jordan Montgomery as a good fallback option, this official scoffed and offered that even Jordan Montgomery would be too expensive for the Red Sox current budget plans."
Like, are you effing serious? Jordan Montgomery, who's at best a number 2 starting pitcher. He's not an ace. He's out of your financial budget plans? Are you serious? Holy crap! And listen, man, I'm already saying the offseason's a failure for them. I'm already saying it. But listen, they're not even looking to be competitive whatsoever. Maybe they are bringing out the tanks this season. I don't know. But Jordan Montgomery is out of your financial budget plans? Really? Okay, Henry.
My immediate reaction to this news is probably extremely similar, if you have not heard it yet, to the reaction you're having right now, and that is, are you kidding me?
What did I just say?
Is too expensive and out of the budget of the Boston goddamn Red Sox. To that point, that is absolutely comically, ridiculously embarrassing, right? You are one of the 4 biggest teams in the league in terms of revenue, in terms of fan base, and you think Jordan Montgomery's over your spending limit? That is asinine, right? That is absolutely ridiculous. But before your blood boils, before you start getting out the pitchforks and torches, let's talk about this in total for a second. Right now, this is one industry source. And over the last couple of off seasons, we've actually seen these type of industry source articles before. And I'm not saying it has anything to do with Sean McAdams. I'm not saying it has anything to do with anything. But over the last couple of off season, it's just one industry source, and we've seen them be wrong before. These industry.
Yeah, but what is giving you faith that that report's going to be false? What is the Red Sox front office giving you that that report's going to be false? They didn't really spend last offseason either. I hate to say this and break the news. They didn't really spend last offseason either. They've been trying to cut their salaries for the last couple seasons. Even though realistically, they should have been going for it. After that 2021 season, where they were 2 games away from going to the World Series, they should have went all in after that. They already got their top draft pick in Marcelo Mayer. They've built up the farm system. They should have went all in last year. Not this past season that happened, but I'm talking about the year prior, 2022. That's when they should have said, okay, now we can focus on building a winning team in the major leagues. 2020 was that bridge year, sure. I think we all knew that was coming. But in 2021, after that season especially, that's when they should have been like, okay, it's time to go for it in the major leagues. I don't think any of us disagrees with that. And they didn't, and they blew it, and now they look like the cheapest, greedy son of a bitches out there in the league.
Industry sources. Last offseason, industry sources were saying the Red Sox would never sign Rafael Devers to a long-term contract. Well, they did, right? Industry sources last offseason said Brian Bale probably wasn't going to be a legitimate big leaguer. He proved this year that he is. In 2022, there were industry sources that said there was no way the Red Sox were going to give any money out to anybody, and they ended up signing Trevor Story. Same thing with Masataka Yoshida.
Oh, wow. You're going to flex on Trevor Story, man. Holy crap. He's been injured last 2 seasons. That looked like it's been a horrible signing. You know, they couldn't have gotten Freddie Freeman or anyone like that. No, they went out and get Trevor Story, a player that they really didn't need. And then that ended up pushing Xander Bogaerts out the door. No.
Sources said that he would not be a solid big league player and wasn't worth the money. Well, this year, before his fatigue kicked in, he was well worth that money. This is not the first time we've heard industry sources say the Red Sox aren't going to do something, and before we've seen them do those things that they said they won't. So on its own, this isn't exactly something to absolutely start freaking out about. Industry sources have been wrong before, and I'm not saying this has anything to do with the credibility of Sean McAdam. He's a fantastic writer, but it's just the fact. Industry sources have been wrong before, so in my opinion, I'm not totally freaked out yet. However,
shout out to
this
you,
is starting
man.
to become a bit of a pattern. This is
Man, holy crap. Shout out to you then. Because you're holding on for dear life at this point.
isn't the first time this offseason that there have been doubts cast on whether or not the Red Sox are actually willing to spend like the big market team that they are, like the Boston goddamn Red Sox that they are. Earlier this offseason, Jared Carrabis on his podcast mentioned a very similar thing. He mentioned that he has one very trustworthy source that mentioned that if the Red Sox weren't going to get Yamamoto, which obviously they didn't, they weren't planning on spending any money anywhere else this offseason. This was then echoed by Lou Merloni on Twitter as well. So now you're starting not only to get the industry source report, you're also getting reports from Red Sox personalities all over the place that the Red Sox aren't planning on spending money, which for Red Sox fans is a massive problem. Because let's be honest here, right? Big spending isn't a clear path to winning a championship. The Rangers were able to do it, but they also had a lot of young, talented core players that were already on their team. And you saw it over the last season that Padres and Mets, they spent big money and they didn't even sniff the postseason. However, big spending does keep you competitive in baseball nowadays.
didn't have the
That's
relief.
just how things work. Back in the early days of the FSG owning the Boston Red Sox, you were one of what, 2, 3, 4 teams that could legitimately spend up to your power potential. Nowadays, in terms of competition for free agents, teams all over the place are spending what the Red Sox were once willing to spend. Teams like the Rangers, the Padres, but also the Phillies, the Blue Jays. Teams are coming out of nowhere and they are realizing that, hey, if we want to get these competitive free agents, we're going to have to put up the money to do that. So instead of, hey, it's the Red Sox, it's the Dodgers, or it's the Yankees or the Mets, right? 4 teams in Major League Baseball. It's now half the teams in Major League Baseball can spend what everyone else can spend, and your competition is all of a sudden a lot more fierce. If the Red Sox refuse to spend money, you are going to fall behind. You are going to fall back below the middle of the pack, and you are going to be stuck in mediocrity for the rest of your time. Now, again, there are ways to build a team without spending money, and I'm not saying it's impossible for the Red Sox to be successful while spending like a mid-market team, but they shouldn't have to do that. They shouldn't have to find ways and get creative and be crafty. They don't have to do that. If you like somebody and you're the Boston Red Sox, you should be able to go out there and get that person and bring them to your team. Or if you have that person on your team and you're like, hey, Tristan Casas, Marcelo Meyer, Jaron Duran, Brian Bale, whoever you want it to be, and you say, we want this guy to be a cornerstone of the Red Sox. It shouldn't be, we want this guy as a cornerstone of the Red Sox until he's eligible for free agency. No. You should be able to sit that guy down, say, we're the Boston Red Sox. What do you want? We want you here. Stay here for 12 years. That's how this should work. This is why fans are frustrated. This is why everyone is frustrated, because reports like these continue to come out, and they continue to increasingly repeat the same pattern, that FSG does not want to spend like the big market team that they actually are.
They're turning into the Florida Marlins.
As frustrating to fans if the Red Sox didn't have the big fan base that they had and the prices that they had within the stadium. If they were attracted like a mid-market team, then fine, right? You are up to your financial limit.
You know that meme saying, hold up, let him cook? I almost made a comment like back here somewhere, and I'm glad I held off and I let him cook. I'm glad. He's spitting right now. He's spitting facts.
Limitations as a mid-market team, but it's just flat out not the case. You were one of the most profitable teams in Major League Baseball last year. You're one of the most expensive ballparks in Major League Baseball last year, and you're going to sit here and try and justify the fact that you don't even want to spend on Jordan Montgomery, a guy who would immediately help your team out, and he's not even going to cost $200 million plus. He's going to be a $100 million player. You are afraid to spend the $100 million. You are now a step behind all the other competitive teams in the league. And that is an absolutely terrifying thought if you are a Red Sox fan. And it gets a little bit worse. This is all speculation right now. This could change on a dime, right? Honestly, this could have changed before we even put this video out. They could have signed Jordan Montgomery last night, and none of this even matters. But if they don't, then what you're looking at is a lot of Red Sox fans starting to demand that you sell the team, and that's going to do absolutely nothing. I don't care if you go to Fenway Park or if you don't go to Fenway Park. Fenway Park is a national landmark. It is an attraction, and it is going to fill up, especially because of the new changes.
Hey, have you been watching my videos, Red Sea Radio? You're saying the exact words I've been saying. I'm just messing. You probably don't watch my videos, but yeah. You're right. It's a tourist place. The diehard fans might not go, but the tourists, they'll be there.
In the schedule. And on top of that, you're talking about the Fenway Sports Group selling the Boston Red Sox. This is a ownership group that has built their entire empire and are building their entire empire based on the foundation of Fenway, the Red Sox, and the surrounding area. You think they're going to sell the team just because fans are upset? Absolutely not. Which is even scarier, because now instead of, hey, we're going to put the screws to ownership, we're going to tell them to F off, we're going to tell them to sell the team, they're just going to sit there and they're going to take it, because they've got 4 other professional sports teams that they can focus on. They've got the entire area and bar scene and everything around Fenway Park, and Fenway Park itself is still a national landmark, right? So what you're getting is years and years of mediocrity, and that is a terrifying thought. And to be honest with you, I don't think FSG, specifically John Henry, has legitimately stopped caring about winning. And I think he realizes as a smart businessman that you make more money when you win as opposed to when you lose. However, what I do think is starting to happen with FSG, and again, I could be wrong, and this could all be proven wrong in a blink of an eye, but what I think is happening with FSG is they're realizing, hey, with these new baseball rules, with everything that's going on with the playoffs and everything like that, we don't have to build the juggernauts we had in the early 2000s or the mid 2010s. We don't need to do that anymore. We just need to get this team to 86, 87 wins, and even if they're third place in this division, there's probably a pretty good chance they're going to end up in the postseason. We're going to get the postseason money. We're going to get everything from that. Right now, what it looks like is they are not trying to build a legitimate competitive, we want to win the AL East, we want to be favorites for the World Series. It looks like they're trying to build we just want to try and sneak into a postseason team, which again, if they aren't going to sell the team and this is their outlook for...
You know what though, that's not winning mentality at the end of the day. You want to be the favorites, you want to be the ones looked at and say, this team is dangerous, we are scared of them. That's what you want to be looked at as. They're not that, and they're not going to be that anytime soon. The curse of Mookie Betts. Here it comes. It's coming. Maybe another 30, 40 years of them not winning, if I had to guess.
For the next couple of years, maybe even decades.
I'm probably exaggerating,
a
but
lot
like,
of frustrating years for Red Sox fans. And that doesn't mean there aren't going to be great teams sprinkled in, but you're not going to be getting that help, those big splashy signings that you originally saw. Now, overall, I think, again, we look at this in totality, and I don't think it's time to start storming Gate C and really trying to put the screws to ownership yet. I think there's a lot could happen. Right now, this is all speculations, not proven fact yet, but it's very close to being proven fact. And I think within one or two different moves this offseason, it could very well easily be proven fact. So right now, here's where I'm at. I am very cautiously in wait and see mode. You could tell, right? You probably tell by this video that my blood's starting to boil a little bit and we're starting to get into really angry territory. But until they don't make those moves, until there is proven statistical evidence that they did not want to spend on a Montgomery, on a Teoscar Hernandez, on a whoever you want to put out there, then yeah, I'm going to wait.
So the rumor has it right now is that if the Red Sox sign Teoscar Hernandez, they're not re-signing Justin Turner. Bro. Okay, Henry.
And see, because again, these industry sources, these very reliable sources have been proven wrong in the past, and Red Sox ownership historically has not done well with a whole lot of public negativity, and there's a whole lot of that going on right now. So maybe they do something drastic and realize that, hey, we can't run our team like this. But again, this report, the Carabas news, Lou Merlone sort of echoing all of it is really, really scary. But that's just my opinion. So let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think of all this? Do you think I'm overreacting? Everyone's overreacting? Or do you think I'm not reacting enough? Or are you right in line with me? Let me know all your thoughts on this possible huge problem for the Boston Red Sox in the comment section down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor, make sure you've hit that like and subscribe button. Helps these videos out a ton and would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the red seats.
And the video came out, and then the report came out today that they might be bringing James Paxton back. I want to read the comments. I honestly want to read the comments. I am so drained as a Sox fan. I am almost at the point of apathy. John Henry seems to not care anymore. The Red Sox are just one file in his portfolio. The only way we can make a real statement as fans is to stop buying tickets and stop giving them ratings. Enough is enough. Realistically, after Bogarts left and how they handled that situation, from what I've heard at least, that was it for me. I'm not going to lie, that was really it for me. The only part I disagree with is that there is nothing we can do. If attendance lowers, they will make less money and they will listen. But will attendance ever go down at a place many people from the area would be willing to go to watch literally anybody play? Probably not. Yeah, I've been beating this drum for a while. The direction this team has gone since the 2018 championship, the firing of Dave Dombrowski, there is some apparent deception going on that really bothers me. The bogey contract. They acted like they wanted to sign him, but in the end, they never made a legit offer. You don't want to sign him? Fine, but say so. This full throttle crap is a flat-out lie, apparently. We were talking Jordan was just a start believing the full throttle nonsense. Now we are just hoping that alone is going to happen. Sad. The bogey contract really did it for me. The way they handled that entire situation, that really did it for me. I'm not going to lie. That really made me pissed off. Because after Mookie Betts was traded, the focus was going to be the core in Devers and Xander. That was the focus going forward, is building around those two guys. That's what they said the plan was. And they didn't even follow up on that plan. They were 2 wins away from a World Series in 2021. It looked like they had a legitimate core around them. They needed maybe a few starting pitchers, maybe another bat, and a couple of relief pitchers. Could have came from the farm system too, really. Could have came from the farm system. And they were going to be right back in the mix, competing for a championship. What do? They give Trevor Story that big contract on a position that they did not need, and that ended up pushing Xander out the door. They didn't sign Eduardo Rodriguez. They didn't get the pitching that they needed. They didn't get the relievers that they needed. And now here we are today, where they just said, F it. Whatever happens, happens. We get money in our pockets at the end of the day. That's what happened. Spent enough time on this video here. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe now if you guys new. You guys know what to do. Go check out our website. Links in the description down below. Shout out Red Seat Radio for bringing out the banger. I think he's underreacting. I think he should be panicked. I've been saying this the last about year and a half or so. When my eye got really opened, right, about the whole entire situation, last thing before the video ends. My eyes really opened to the entire situation was from that reaction video. I think it was after the deadline. Oh no, it was from the All-Star game where Mookie Betts said if he got the same offer from the Red Sox that he did with the Dodgers, he would stay. And we reacted to a video on the trade deadline coming up. And John Henry said, I like where we are, but we're still in building mode. That's when I was like, are you serious? And that's when in my head, I was like, something's going on. But then when the whole Xander thing came out, and I learned how that was handled, that was it for me. Thank you guys for watching this video. It's been your boy Jesse, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later, guys.